Brothers, sisters and comrades, first of all, solidarity from Unite, solidarity from our members working at Wilson James, who are now celebrating a 12.5% pay increase won through strike action. Solidarity from our members at Wincanton, who have won a pay increase after just threatening strike action. And solidarity from our members at Red Handling at Gatwick, where workers took action and won a dispute where the employers were not paying their pension contributions. Solidarity from all of those strikes. Now, you may not have heard of all of those disputes unless you carefully read the NSSN bulletin regularly. However, they are a small sample of what is happening. Workers are fighting, and it's important to say that workers are winning as well when supported by a union leadership, ready, prepared and equipped to do what is necessary to get those wins. Talk is often cheap, but the truth is concrete, and those wins are absolutely concrete. So let's take pride in what can seem very, very dark days. Let's make sure we do celebrate and are inspired by those wins and inspired with those who are fighting now. And I beam with pride whenever I hear our speakers from either Sheffield, Veolia or from Birmingham, who are an absolute inspiration. At Sheffield, Veolia, under a Labour council, with a Labour government, we are still having to fight for trade union recognition, the basic right to be recognised and to be bargained with the trade union of your choice. That is the situation that we are still in. Those workers are leading a very, very brave fight. You'll hear in a second from Joel, but they are determined. I've been out on the picket lines with those workers again this week, and they are determined that they will not go back to work until they win their victory. And the same goes for our members. The same goes for our members in Birmingham as well. Once again, leading a brave dispute. I've heard that Angela Rayner is not happy about those banners with her face on it. You should see the puppet that's been made creeping out of a dustbin that does the rounds in Birmingham. But look, there is a speaker from Birmingham. So look, let me just say this about Birmingham. It is not about asking for more money, and we're having to say that again and again. And like one of the speakers before, I've had to go on to GB News as well. So I've got tired of repeating that. It is not about asking for more money. It is about protecting terms and conditions as they stand. We spent months in the media telling people what this dispute was about, while the council denied that it was about pay cuts. And only a week and a half ago, I think the leader finally crawled out from under the stone under which he lives and said, yes, people are going to have to lose some money. Well, bloody hell. You know, about time that he woke up, and they're probably the most truthful things he's said since the dispute began. And let's be clear as well about what we are talking about. They tried to make out this was just about 17 people. Well, let me be clear about this point as well. If it was just about one person, then a trade union would be defending that one worker. The numbers make absolutely no difference. And then they tried to say it's about a small amount of money. Well, you try losing £8,000 a year from your pay when you work in local government. And on the numbers point, yes, it matters if it's only one person, but let's be clear about that as well. Drivers are having their pay hit. There are up to 200 vehicles in Birmingham. Now, Elon Musk hasn't been down there and made them all driverless vehicles. So I make that at least 200 people being impacted by that. Well, just a few other areas where we are fighting and campaigning as well. In local government, we are fighting for, demanding and looking to take what is necessary, the necessary action to win fair funding for local government. It is no use just saying no cuts to services. We have to actually be putting forward what the resolution is, and that's about fair funding for local government. And for me, Here's the test of any party, no matter what your political colours. What is your position on local government? Is it just to say, oh, the position's really shit? Or is it to stand by us, to stand by Unite policy and demand needs-based, no-cuts budgets, fighting together with your communities to win the money that is necessary? We are fighting in the NHS. We are fighting in the NHS, not just for decent pay, but for decent staffing levels as well. And we've already won victories where we have improved staffing levels and staffing ratios in the NHS. We are to the fore when it comes to being the force for good and making that change. At Zacchaeus 2000, a trust, an anti-poverty charity, they proposed, an anti-poverty charity, they proposed that the directors have an increase of 25%. This charity was set up, it was founded in the 90s in opposition to the poll tax, no less, while our members were told 3%. Again, our members balloted for strike action, and that 25% proposal has been completely dropped, a complete and utter win for our members. The point I'm making here is that as trade unions, we are a force for good. We have a history fighting racism, we have a history fighting sex discrimination. We've played a role recently with regard to the winter fuel payments, and we also have the answers. It's a very simple one. Where's the money coming from? You don't need magic pigging money trees. It's really, really quite simple. Tax the wealthy. A 1% wealth tax on the richest 1% in the country would bring in 26 billion. That's just in one go. I think do it every year, but that's just in one go. So we have the answers. We have the ability to be able to change society. On reform, again, you don't need great big debates about it. The answers really are simple. How do you defeat reform? Easy. You build council houses with secure tenancies and council rates. You repair schools. You nationalise. You rebuild the National Health Service and you rebuild local government. Let me try and come to an end with this point. On local government, and in particular, special education needs and disabled children. My grandson, or one of my grandchildren, I've got 8 now, believe it or not. One of my, Nancy's laughing because she's seen the Facebook stuff. One of my beautiful grandchildren, Louis, he's 4 years old, he's autistic and he's non-verbal. His mother, Lara, my daughter, has to fight day in, day out to win the provision that he needs. It is an absolute disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace that in the 6th richest economy in the world, there are parents who are having to fight for equality for their disabled children. We, as trade unions, have the power, the potential to change society so that mothers like Lara are not having to do that day in, day out. We have the power and the potential so that we can be proud of what we're going to be passing on to our children, grandchildren and future generations. Thanks very much.